song. Thank you very much, everybody, for coming out this evening. Were there any questions before we ended the night at all? Any thoughts to share? None at all? Okay, well, you were asked, so that's fine. Thank you very much.
All right. Well, guys, my name is Justin, and we're on the scene for halfway between here and there. And we are at Little Waddell in Sudbury, Ontario, where Craig Cardiff and Megan Lickley just performed, and we're going to ask them a few questions here. All right, so we're also accompanied by Brendan and Claire. And Craig is doing a spot-on lip-syncing impersonation of me. It's just remarkable.
It's all the years as the Jan impersonator.
All right. Okay. So my first question will be to Brendan and Claire. All right, I'm going to pass the mic after I'm done asking my question so you guys can talk.
Fantastic.
All right, so... So how did you guys, how were you able to get Craig to come to Little Waddell to begin with?
Well, you need to start with Claire for that.
All right.
Claire's integral. Claire's really where the whole story started.
Yeah.
Well, I met Craig in 2005. Oh, sorry. And I set up a show for him 4 years ago.
That was at the first.
Yeah.
Yeah, talk about that. That was so much fun.
Yeah, we set up a show for him in the Crusoe Club in Sudbury. And then he came back 2 years later here. And then I guess the following year he was here again tonight. So yeah. And Brendan has helped me for the past 2 years. So I'll let him talk for now. There you go.
Yeah, well, all it was Craig contacted us last year, and we got into putting in a show together, and it worked out really well. Claire and I knew a lot of people from the city, so I think we got a lot of people out last year and got the word out, so it was pretty good this year as well. I think it was a good time.
And Megan, how did you get involved with performing with Craig tonight?
He played a show a year ago in Wolfville, Nova Scotia, and that's where I met him. He's friends with a friend of mine, and when he heard I was in Sudbury, do you want to answer my question?
I'd like to expand on Megan's answer. Megan, you toured with Heather, a good friend of mine, Heather Calday, and you've been working on this album, and so it was exciting to hear some of the new songs that you're working on. That was the other reason, but she's too humble, so that's why she wouldn't share that with you. You have to dig with the answers.
I'll keep that in mind. And now I have a question for you, Craig. Something I've realized when you came here about 2 years ago, you used live digital looping. Where did you get this idea? Like, how did you sit one day like, I'm going to just repeat beat, 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 and then it worked out?
There's a few people who have been doing looping generally, like even analog loops date back, like I think 1972 with Robert Fripp. Anyways, there's lots of people who have been doing interesting stuff with it, and it's just something that I was interested in terms of trying to make what can be a very small sound acoustically get bigger. So I don't think it's very necessarily innovative. I think a lot of people are doing it, and I'm always excited to see who's using little bits of technology in a traditional musical format. So, yeah. Does that answer your question? Anything else you'd like to know?
All right, so my next question would be for Megan and yourself. You've started this, I believe, in 1996, right? Performing live and going out. From then till now, do you find that with the help of technology, it's gotten a little bit easier for people to promote themselves, to get out there with like MySpace and YouTube and Facebook? Do you find it's gone a little bit easier for you guys to maybe show your name out and get maybe record deals or just places to perform?
You'd probably yeah. When you look over the years, I think right now like it's a lot easier. If you don't have a lot of money, you can still put out your art, and which I think has changed a lot over the decades. I've been pretty new to promoting myself, so I don't know a lot about the change of the last 14 years. Do you want to talk about change?
Sure. So I think that certainly it's easier to communicate with people, but I feel like it's like with the new solution comes a set of new problems. There's a disconnect with audiences and listening, like the idea that music is something that you need to participate in as an audience. So participating by coming to buy it or just even coming to listen to it is not something that people are necessarily, like I feel like you guys did that a bit, creating that culture with your group of friends who would come to some of these shows. No, but it also takes people who aren't the artists to go like, hey, I've got this crazy idea. Maybe you should listen, right? And so I think that's something that technology has taken away because of the on-demand nature. I mean, I think it's easy to say a lot, but I think it's important to be careful about what you're saying. So don't overplay a market, right? Which has always been an issue in any touring situation. And I would also say that it's created a problem where, because it's easy to distribute music digitally, it's difficult to make a value argument to audiences for purchasing albums, right? When a lot of people, and I do it as well, give a lot of music away for free simply because they want to be heard. And then, I mean, do you have any thoughts, Megan, that you could share on how you'll be marketing your album once you're done recording it?
I have a lot of help from friends across the East Coast, from here east, who have been helping me. A lot of it's word of mouth, a lot through Facebook and emails and posters. The venues usually have been advertising us beforehand. I'm touring with a friend of mine, so that's how I've been promoting so far.
Awesome. I think that'd be a good question for Clare to answer. Like somebody who had to take an unknown. Well, here. So how would you take an unknown musician and use technology to convince friends to come and see them, as you did in the case of us doing our shows?
Well, to introduce you, Craig Cardiff, to a bunch of my friends, I actually showed them the music. Like, even with my iPod, like I brought it to my class in high school and I showed them that way. Another huge thing is Facebook. Unfortunately, I know I hate using it myself. That's how I got the word out the first year. We also use like posters and advertising. An example of this is an artist who I really like. I found a poster of him in Guelph, and that's how I heard of him, just through posters and stuff like that. So Facebook is where it's at, I guess, for musicians. So.